years ago, in the first ever Sarachek playing game, DRS defeated Frisch, knocking them out of Sarachek contention. Last year, Nathan Neufeld from almost half court at the buzzer dumped down DRS into Tier 2, and round 3 is here, as this is the NCSY pregame show. NCSY inspiring the Jewish future for over 70 years, as we're here for the Tier 1 Sarachek Championship between the #1 DRS Wildcats and the #3 Frisch Cougars. This is a great matchup between two Yeshiva League powerhouses that ironically haven't played this year, but have been looking forward to playing each other. It really should be a good matchup. We're actually going to send it to the PA for Tehillim, anthems, lineups, and more. But when we come back, we'll break down the matchup, and we'll be ready for Sarachek Tier 1 basketball. Welcome back into the booth here in the Max Stern Athletic Center. Yosef Silver alongside Max Zackheim. Those were tonight's starting lineups, which are sponsored by the Yeshiva University Office of Admissions. As you start your college journey, make sure you visit us online to check out all the great events and opportunities we have for YU students. It's going to be the number 3 Frisch Cougars in their alternate blacks as the fans are in a blackout versus DRS in their home whites, being the number 1 seed. Max, it's been an incredible tournament to this point, and I think the championship is not going to disappoint.
Yeah, it's going to be a great, up and down affair. I'm super excited to see, what both teams are able to do and see which team's able to ultimately come out and be the winner. So it's going to be a great matchup.
And just in terms of looking at each side, what would you say are the couple keys to the game to make sure, both for Frisch and for DRS, what are going to be those keys to come home with the victory?
Yeah, for Frisch, it's going to be, running good offense. DRS obviously runs their weird, matchup zone. It gives teams a lot of issues. So Frisch has got to be able to, get it into that high post, get multiple cutters in the same area. That really trips up DRS. And on the other hand, DRS has got to do what they do. They got to contain, obviously, Isaac Stepner, but it's been a supporting cast for Frisch this tournament. That's been the question mark, I think, a lot of them throughout the season. But, in last game, in the tough game against Shalheva, it's always a tough battle. The supporting cast of Frisch really, really stepped up.
It's going to be Stepner and Bennett on the tip. As we're set, and we're off. Tip is won by Frisch, taken by Grossman. Now it's Judah Suss. Fans on both sides making a lot of noise as Judah Suss has it at the logo. Takes the screen from Grossman. Up top, Grossman gonna drive inside, going up. Too strong on the layup, rebound Bennett.
Actually looked like DRS came out of man in that possession, which is, very uncharacteristic of them. But it'll be interesting to see what they do throughout the game.
As now it's Spodek on the offensive side for DRS. Calling out the shots, DRS in a horns action. As now it's Spodek. Taking the screen from Bennett, gonna attack the basket. No good from Spodek. Isaac Stepner on the rebound, throws forward to Reinhardt. Jesse Reinhardt moving in, now Neufeld. And once again, 3 misses in a row to start this one. As DRS looking to get on the board. Saidi, 4-3. Bounces around and out. Another rebound for Isaac. Reinhardt now at the top. Saidi defending him. DRS back into their matchup zone. As now it's Neufeld taking the screen from Stepner. Driving on Solomon, kicks it out. It's Judah Suss. 15 on the shot clock. Gives it to Reinhardt. Reinhardt picks up his dribble. Now Stepner top of the key, moving inside, pulls. And Isaac Stepner starts the scoring. 2-0 Frisch.
That's where he wants to go. Pump fake, get into that mid-range area, rise up over defenders. He's, practically unguardable when he gets down there. DRS got to do a better job of not allowing him to get to, his spots.
As now it's Saidi looking for a response for DRS. Saidi driving the lane. And that's a quick 2 for the Wildcats. As this one's knotted up, 2 minutes in. Isaac Stepner taking it down for Frisch. Suss at the wing. Now into the corner is Grossman. Reinhardt at the elbow. Gaby Spodek on him. Size advantage if he wants it. Reinhardt attacks and finishes 4-2 Frisch.
Great move there by Jesse Reinhardt, utilizing his size. Quick move, not allowing help to come, get the ball, quick move, use his body, and score in the rim.
As now it's Spodek. Michael Solomon. That's a 3 from Saidi. Bounces around and out. Another miss for DRS. And now it's going to be Reinhardt. Spot up 3. No good. And Saidi on the board. DRS will slow it down. Gaby Spodek taking the screen from Bennett. Now pulls. Couldn't catch anything. As Isaac Stepner with yet another rebound. Sauce into the corner. That's Reinhardt again from 3. Couldn't connect that time.
Just quick shots, on both ends right now. Teams got to settle in and get to their offense. This is not both ways. This is not a recipe, to be successful.
And now it's Saidi. DRS offense been quiet. Shoham Gabe, he's dangerous from deep, but couldn't connect. Stepner, Reinhardt Reinhardt backing down Shoham Gabe. Into the corner, that's a free from Grossman. Once again, no good. Both teams really struggling to convert on the offensive side as Suss gonna attack. And that ball was tipped in, that was Nathan Neufeld.
Yeah, great job there by Jesse Reinhardt. Kid really, really battles on the offensive glass, but on that drive there by Suss, gotta see Stepner was wide open in that opposite corner. You know, you gotta be looking for Stepner when he gets, you know, free looks, because they're not gonna get many of them.
And Isaac Stepner is so dangerous, even when he's not open. For sure, when he is open, you definitely want to look to get him the ball. As it's Spodek gonna attack. Spodek gets a man flying. Great job by Gaby Spodek. As now DRS only down 2. Stepner, deep triple. Oh, that's good.
It's a big time shot there by Isaac Stepner. You know, that was, you know, NBA distance on that one.
I think that was even past NBA. As now it's Saidi for DRS. 3:20 to go here in this first quarter. It's now Saidi inside to Bennett. Great ball movement from DRS. And Bennett will draw a foul. I believe that's going to go on Stepner. That's his first.
Yeah, that's definitely something to watch. You know, Stepner picking up one there. But finally, DRS kind of able to settle in a little bit offensively. You know, that's their go-to actions, getting to that horns, you know, getting that back screen for Spodek, and then kind of playing off that, whether it's a flare screen for Bennett or Saidi coming off a pick and roll. Saidi's able to draw 2, find Bennett on the roll. So, you know, DRS has got to, you know, get to their actions and stop taking one-pass shots.
Bennett cannot connect on the first. Come to Como Pizza for some great pizza, pasta, salads, and even awesome breakfast options. We will be streaming the games in-store, making it a great place to watch the games while you eat. That's the second one from Bennett, no good. We want to give an extra shout out to Como Pizza that they went above and beyond our initial advertising deal. They said you guys are doing such a great job. They provided lunch for us today as well. We want to give a special shout out to Como and Josh and Andy and Gabe and everyone else at Como Pizza. Now it's Suss down low. Inside to Reinhardt. Reinhardt tried a nifty move, but he'll draw a foul and head to the line.
Yeah, it's been a lot of Jesse Reinhardt here. You know, clearly, you know, something probably Coach Tuckman saw, you know, in watching film, just seeing, you know, his size down there is, you know, gonna be able to hurt DRS. You know, DRS isn't the biggest team. They have guys that work their tail off, you know, down there, but, you know, not the biggest team, especially with them, you know, being so concerned with Stepner. Reinhardt's gonna be able to use his size down there.
And Reinhardt true on the first. Into the game previously for Frisch is number 4, Jacob Gervis. Nathan Neufeld taking a seat for the Cougars. Reinhardt on the second is true as well. 11-4 Frisch lead. Just over 5 minutes gone by. Spodek at the top. Bennett working on Reinhardt. Solomon with it, gonna attack the basket, and Michael Solomon with a nice lay.
Great drive there by Michael Solomon. You know, I think Stepner was kind of, you know, startled by that. You don't see him do that often, but he's capable of it.
And now it's Gervis. Down low is to Reinhardt. Reinhardt going up, and Jesse Reinhardt, not necessarily the name you would think we would be talking about so much, but he's made a huge impact thus far. Yeah,
in big games like this, you know, there are always, you know, unsung heroes. It always is, and tonight could be Jesse Reinhardt's night.
Spodek over to Solomon. Now it's Saidi at the left wing. Solomon at the top. Isaac on him. Now Bennett pulls from 3. Too strong. Stepner rebound, and Frisch is going to push. It's Gervis. Reinhardt thought about the 3 moving inside. Now Gervis turns around straight into Gaby Spodek, and that's going to be a jump ball DRS way. I think Frisch got too excited on that possession. Gervis turned around expecting some free space and ran straight into Gaby Spodek. 1:41 to go here in this first. 6-13 is the score as the Frisch Cougars lead the DRS Wildcats. Spodek now for DRS, gives it up to Solomon, back down low to Spodek. Gervis playing some good defense. Mike Solomon taking in Stepner. Solomon couldn't get it. Bennett skies for the rebound. Spodek, corner, Bennett. Bennett baseline, and he hits Bennett. Just real aggressive play from DRS to get the 2 points.
Yeah, you can see Frisch has done their scouting work. I know DRS scored there, but Frisch has done their scouting work on that, DRS back screen. Reinhardt does a great job of showing, allowing his defender to give an extra, his offensive player, to get an extra second to get through, and kind of blows up that play.
As that's a 3 from Reinhardt. Oh, Jesse Reinhardt! He's been incredible in this first quarter as Frisch up to 16 points against that stout DRS defense. Spodek driving, too strong. Another rebound for Isaac Stepner. He may be up to a double-double already. Stepner pulls from the free throw line. That's good for Isaac Stepner. 10-point lead for Frisch.
DRS is all out of sorts here. You never see that from DRS. With their matchup zone, it's much easier to be able to get matched in transition. They're just, super out of position, and you just can't give Isaac Stepner, that free of a look.
18-8 Frisch lead, 14 seconds on the game clock. 10 seconds for Spodek. 8 seconds, he's gonna drive. Moving in, gets blocked, but it's gonna stay DRS ball. 5.2 remain in this first quarter.
Smart substitution here by Coach Tuckman, getting Stepner out for this 5 seconds. Not worth it for him to get a foul.
As Joey Ginsberg gonna head into the game. We saw him play a big role when Jesse Reinhardt fouled out early yesterday. Maybe the extra rest from yesterday is giving Jesse Reinhardt the boost for today, as that's into Bennett with 5 seconds. 4, 3 for Bennett. Saidi off the pass, skims the front iron and no good. 18-8. The Frisch Cougars lead the DRS Wildcats. As we are going to send it to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
I think I connect with Hashem more at Seneca because we have davening every day.
When we hit Friday night, everybody takes a deep breath. We come to the shul all together. Amazing tefillah with singing and joy and dancing.
On Saturday night, everybody's got their arms around each other. They're so excited to just sing together.
Welcome back into the booth here in the Max Stern Athletic Center. Best summer ever. Last summer we brought 1,000 teams to Israel. This year we're bringing even more. The countdown is on. Are you ready? With over 20 incredible programs, NCSY has something for everyone. Don't miss your chance to make this the best summer ever. Register today at summer.ncsy.org. And we're going to send it down quickly to Avi Seabag standing by. Excuse me, we're not going to send it down to Avi Seabag standing by. We're going to send it down to Avi Seabag maybe at our next timeout. But in the meantime, it's going to be Noam Grossman to inbound for Frisch, as that first quarter was pretty much all the Wildcats' way. We get a pause here for the shot clock. But Max, talk to me about that first quarter.
I mean, it's been, obviously the Jesse Reinhardt show. And, such a good story, for Jesse Reinhardt. Obviously, I play with his brother, Jack. And, Jesse's kind of been, a Frisch guy, through thick and thin. I remember, him as a little kid, coming to our games and to my older brother's games. And just, he's been around the program for so many years. So just, it's so great to see him have this moment. I see the kid work, see him grow up. So it's just, awesome for him. And, it's early, but got to see what they can do, the rest of the game.
As now it's Isaac Stepner, pullback 3. Grazed the side and out of bounds. As now DRS, I don't know what there is to talk about between their offense and their defense, but both a little bit out of sorts for the Wildcats. As we apologize that our scoreboard, our score bug on the bottom is currently under renovations. We want to give a shout out to Eitan and Jared and everyone in the control room working on fixing the problem. But for now, 18-8 DRS lead, 7.5 remain in this second quarter. As it's Alicia Saidi. Saidi moving in, now passes it over to Mikey Freund. Freund attacks. That's no good. Isaac Stepner with his 8th rebound. Not even 9 minutes into this one. Gervis, corner, Reinhardt. Got him again! The Jesse Reinhardt show from deep as he's 3 of 3 from range.
Yeah, Jesse Reinhardt, man, he's on fire.
As now it's Gervis on the floor, and Frisch gets a smart timeout in, retaining possession.
I mean, uncharacteristic, so far from DRS. This group has played in big games. They just coming off the Yeshiva League championship. They've won preseason tournaments, done all that stuff, but they just seem just rattled, by the Sarachek, crowd and all that stuff. Every single possession seems to be quick shot or one shot and out. Just never been able to get into their offense, into deep into the shot clock. So it's got to change quick, or else this game can get away from them.
Yeah, as we thank everyone on our technical side for getting the score bug back. Right now, 21-8, 6:55 to go. The momentum definitely all with Frisch. Obviously, we know DRS, the way they can attack you in transition and the way they can lock down on defense, definitely not out of it. But really not the start you wanted to get out to if you're Coach Cohen and DRS.
Yeah, I think the key point you said is their elite defense. Like, they got to defend. 21 points, basically 9 minutes into the game. That's too much for a team that defends like that. So if they're going to get back in this game, it's going to be on the defensive end getting stops, and then that will ultimately lead to their transition.
Gervis attacks. That's a 3. Suss in and out. Rebound taken by Shoham Gabe. And if you're DRS, obviously don't want to push anything, but you really could use some points on the board. Solomon goes to the basket, now kicks out to Bennett. Michael Solomon dribbling around, stops. Now dumps it off to Saidi. Alicia Saidi, great defense from Noam Grossman as Shoham Gabe gonna go at the lane. And Shoham Gabe finishes, putting DRS into double digits, 21-10. Cougars lead. Jacob Gervis. Now it's Suss at the wing. Gets Bennett out on him. Gervis. Gets past Spodek. Gervis moving inside. Offensive foul drawn by who else but Michael Solomon.
No one does it better than him, man. He probably, averages 2 or 3 of those a game. Although I'm not always a big fan of those, that, was a textbook charge. Got to the spot before him. Straight contact on the chest. Textbook offensive foul.
As we saw in the game earlier, Shlomo Wenger doing something similar, not necessarily earning the call, but he couldn't do it much better than what Mike Solomon just did. And speaking of Mike Solomon, what a pass to Gaby Spodek down low, and DRS starting to build momentum.
Gotta know that one. That's DRS go-to stat. I think they call it Stinger or Twix or one of those two things, and it's the classic horns back screen. Frisch guarded it well up until then, but can't give away 3 points.
And that's a miss from Isaac, and now DRS on the break. Shoham Gabe moving inside through the contact. Shoham Gabe, 6-0 run for DRS.
2 massive buckets there by Gabe. Not necessarily known for being able to put it on the deck. He's their shooter, their guy who spaces the floor. But 2 crucial buckets in a time where his team needed them the most.
Solomon on Reinhardt. DRS making sure not to give him space on the perimeter. As Mike Solomon draws another offensive foul. Max, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if that one was offensive, but...
You read my face on that one as well. We're just talking about it. The first one, textbook. That one, I just don't like that call in that spot, but, we're not the refs.
And, of course, us at MacsLive, we have the utmost respect for the officials, at least in most circumstances. As now it's Saidi. Bennett. Michael Solomon. He's going to go for 3. That's a huge 3 for Michael Solomon. And DRS on an absolute tear, as they've now built a 9-0 run. And that's going to be a foul on the floor. It's going to be called on number 31, Mike Solomon, as he hypes up the greenhouse.
This is where you got to see your senior leadership. Teams making a run, you got to be able to get back into your stuff. Frisch now, feel like the last 3 or so possessions have just been, you could feel that DRS is on the run. You can feel the momentum shifting. Got to get back to your sets. Got to get back to what you do. And that, that starts with your senior leadership.
Looks like it's going to be Gervis to inbound for the Cougars. And Spodek is going to be on him. Let's see what Frisch runs out of the timeout. Tipped away, but still taken by Reinhardt. Reinhardt stops, now goes in. Another offensive foul. That one's on Reinhardt. That's 2 offensive fouls committed by Jesse Reinhardt. And I think each of Frisch's last 3 possessions have resulted in offensive fouls.
Yeah, that one I could have seen a little bit more. Does duck his shoulder a little bit into the chest of the defender. So that one I can get behind. But 2 fouls, in the span of a minute for Jesse Reinhardt, not what Frisch wants.
And now you got to be careful the rest of the half not to pick up that third as it goes across to Bennett. Dump off to Saidi, who pulls. That would have been a long two, but no good. Isaac Stepner on the board. Jacob Gervis. Gervis crosses up Gabe. Goes across. That's Neufeld. Neufeld the threat from deep, but goes inside. And finally, contact inside, but a block.
Yep.
As Michael Solomon, for once, not drawing the charge.
Yeah, see, that's where I think you got to, know the situation a little bit better. Neufeld kind of driving, against his defender. His defender's on his hip. Solomon's coming over for help. Like, you got to be able to know in that spot, not only was he a little bit late, but just jump straight up. Make that shot very difficult with the defender on his side, the defender in front of him. It would be a very tough dip finish for Neufeld. Now he kind of just gives him, 2 free shots at points at the line.
And right on cue, Neufeld hits the first. An excellent shooter for Frisch. Obviously, we talked about in the pregame that huge shot he hit last year, knocking down DRS into Tier 2 and ending any hopes they had of a Sarachek championship, but yet they're right back. These two teams facing off. Neufeld good on the second. Now a 6-point lead for Frisch as we cross the halfway mark of the second quarter. And Max, I think both teams have settled in at this point.
Yeah, again, you knew it was coming. Frisch punches first, DRS punches back. Two great teams. They know each other. A run was inevitable.
Bennett now inside, kicks out to Solomon. Solomon gets Stepner on the move, and Michael Solomon once again attacking the basket and getting a bucket.
Solomon going right at Stepner. Again, you don't see Solomon usually be the offensive, star for him, but the past couple possessions, it's been him.
3 from Suss, back iron, and now DRS in transition. Saidi, nice move inside, and Alicia Saidi brings DRS within 2. Greenhouse is alive as this is a 1-possession game. Nathan Neufeld with the ball for Frisch, cutting inside through the contact, and once again Nathan Neufeld to the line. See on the replay, once again, DRS trying to draw a charge. It was gets Bennett at that time, but I think the refs are all offensive fouled out as Neufeld with the opportunity. Never mind, he'll keep it a 1-possession game. As we would like to thank Chopsticks for being a proud MacsLive sponsor. For the best Chinese food in Teaneck, you've got to go to Chopsticks. Head to chopsticksusa.com to order online. The link is in the description of this video. That is Chopsticks USA, Chopsticks with an X. chopsticksusa.com. Second one from Neufeld is good. Now a 3-point lead for the Cougars. Timeout, Coach Cohen at DRS. And with that timeout, we are going to send it down to NCSY representative and Sarachek lore legend Avi Seebeck standing by with TABC alum Zevi Samet.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Avi Seebeck with NCSY. I'm with TABC alum Zevi Samet. Zevi, obviously a lot goes on this past year. Obviously the Sarachek's been great. I want to touch on one thing specifically. What do you say to the ball players out there that may separate the Yiddishkeit from the basketball on the day-to-day?
I mean, it's intertwined. We know the halacha that says, the Postgame Mishlei, B'chol derech eyu. You should know Hashem in all your ways. So, you can know Hashem on the basketball court. As long as you play like a mensch, play with midos, and they're doing a great job at that.
Obviously, you've been on NCSY call the last couple of summers. Any thoughts on that?
It's a great time. It's a great time to excel in your Yiddishkeit growth and your learning and building relationships with Rabbeim and friends, but ultimately playing sports at a really high level.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great game.
Thank you for that, Avi. That was our NCSY segment, inspiring the Jewish future for over 70 years.
Yeah, that guy sitting next to him looked a little familiar. I've never seen him before.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe once or twice. Maybe rooting on TABC. We saw him from last game.
That's must have been.
As it's Saidi now, pulls, and good. We know Alicia Saidi can get hot. As he brings DRS within 1. Jacob Gervis. Now it's Suss. Judah Suss. Isaac Stepner so dangerous now inside. Blocked. That was Bennett on the rejection.
Great help defense there by Bennett. DRS came out of man in that possession. They don't do that all the time. So, great job by Bennett getting it help because Solomon's going to need help, if he's going to guard Stepner one-on-one.
Mike Solomon with it now. Hands off to Spodek. Now throws it away, tried to get it to Sean Gabe, was a little too far, picked up by Neufeld. Neufeld up to Gervis, and Gervis going to get fouled from behind by Saidi. As now that's 4 fouls for DRS with just over 2 to go. That's going to be Saidi's first. It's going to be Suss to inbound for Frisch. Isaac Stepner. Stepner at the wing. Neufeld. Now Jacob Gervis working on Spodek. Noam Grossman to reset. 17 on the shot clock. 1:48 to go in this second quarter. What's been a really back and forth game. Down low to Gervis, passes tip, but right to Stepner, and he finishes close range. DRS throwing the ball forward quickly to Bennett. And now Spodek slowing things down, getting the offense in order. Spodek blowing past his man. Now attacks the basket, turnaround. No good, but who else? Gets Bennett, offensive rebound, and puts it back home.
It's Bennett and Michael Solomon, always crashing the glass. Frisch got to find a body, got to limit DRS to one possession on every time out.
Gervis bringing it down, blocked from behind by Spodek, and an offensive foul by Michael Solomon. That's going to go on Gervis.
Yeah, I mean, Yosef, we talked about this a lot throughout this tournament. These guards, they got to know when to pick their spots and to drive. Gervis, who's been awesome this tournament, been an energizer bunny for them off the bench, but right off the bat, defense is set, no rotation, no ball reversal. It's just really hard to get there. DRS is great. It's going to be over in rotation. It's just not going to be there. Got to wait to either get on the baseline or get it off of reversal.
And that's 2 on Gervis. And interestingly enough, Frisch with 4 team fouls this quarter, all of them offensive. Now it's Saidi. Saidi over to Bennett. We're under 1 minute to go here in this second quarter. Gets Bennett moving inside. No good. Thought there was some contact, but no call from the officials.
That's the scout, by DRS there, putting Bennett in his left hand. Putting Bennett in his right hand, not letting him get to his left, and gets it wild finish at the rim.
Stepner no good. And now with 22 seconds left, DRS going to hold for 1 opportunity to take the lead into the locker room. Spodek letting it run, now under 10 seconds. 7 seconds for Spodek. Pulls, elbow. Rims out. 1 second for Stepner, half court. He was set, but it comes up short. So 26-25, Frisch Cougars lead the DRS Wildcats at the half. We're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Natan Rabizadeh, who's standing by with head coach for Frisch and MacsLive alumni, Zach Tuckman. Natan, take it away.
First half, we saw 2 things. We saw what Frisch as a team is capable of, both offensively and defensively, and how tough and resilient this DRS team is. How do you stop their run in the second half and win this game?
We knew they'd punch back. They're a great team. They've shown it all season. I thought a couple of those calls could have gone our way. That didn't, and that was a big factor in stopping our run.
And what do you tell your team in the second half, especially your seniors, just to lay it all out?
Yeah, it's exactly what we told them before the game. This is your last game. Last game that anyone's going to care about in the rest of your life, maybe for yourself, but this is what everyone's here to watch. Lay it all out there. I think if we keep doing what we're doing, we have a good shot.
Best of luck, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natan. As right now at midcourt, we're going to have the trophy presentation for TABC, but we're going to actually step aside for the Camp Step It Up halftime show, so don't go anywhere.
Yogeth Dugo, and I fell in love with basketball when I was 12 years old. Well, let me take you back to the beginning of Step It Up. A kid with hoop dreams. In 7th grade, played middle school ball, played high school ball. I wanted to be a Division I player. My friends were cynical about it. My teachers at school, my head of school. The dream became a reality. And as a little kid from Boca Raton, Florida, I ended up finding myself at Madison Square Garden. That only fueled more and more, and the dream became bigger. I transferred to Brandeis University in Boston, where I played 2 more years before moving to Israel, playing a year of pro ball. And at 25 years old, 2 years later, I started Step It Up. At the time, a basketball private training company. For the first session I ran, I was driving home and I just had goosebumps. I felt something. I said, this is it. And from that private training session, we grew more private trainings in a day camp where kids got better in a 5-day program. So I said to myself, if kids are getting better in an hour and getting better in a week, let's start a sleepaway camp. Let's take them for 6 to 8 weeks. It can make a real shift in their mind, a shift in their soul and their perspective. And that's what we did. I sit here with you 12 years later in 2023. We started with 1 kid in 2009. This summer, we're fortunate enough to host over 430 campers from 20 states and 10 countries. When I first started Step It Up, the intention was to run a high-end skill development camp. Little did I know, it would evolve into a life skills camp disguised as a basketball camp, whose core principles are the same principles that I not only grew up on, but still live by to this day. Open heart, open mind. If you come in with the right attitude and you open your heart and mind, we can make tremendous progress. Attention to detail, on the court and off. Live passionately, because what else is there? The way you do anything is the way you do everything. Whatever you choose to do in life, do it all the way. Action above all. Don't talk about it, be about it. Experiences over materialism. It lasts much longer, and it's more real. Good breeds good. Be good to yourself, and be good to one another. Game speed, game like. We train with a focus and intensity on the court, which turns practice into a game, and the game into a practice. We work hard, we play hard, we step it up. These principles are beyond basketball. We use basketball as a vehicle for growth and success. And the results, well, they speak for themselves. Countless number of middle school and high school MVPs. Over 60 college players, Division 1, 2, and 3. Professional players, national team players, a EuroLeague Rookie of the Year, an NBA draft pick, and over 5,000 families, all of whom have stepped it up. We have a love for the game, timeless principles that guide us, a state-of-the-art campus, engaged coaches. We have the results. The choice is simple. It's time to step it up. My name is Yogeth Dugo, and I fell in love with basketball when I was 12 years old. Well, let me take you back to the beginning of Step It Up. A kid with hoop dreams. I wanted to be a Division I player. The dream became a reality. I ended up finding myself at Madison Square Garden. I ended up playing 2 years Division I basketball at Hofstra before transferring to Brandeis University in Boston, before moving to Israel, playing a year of pro ball. And at 25 years old, 2 years later, I started Step It Up. At the time, a basketball private training company. So I said to myself, if kids are getting better in an hour and getting better in a week, let's start a sleepaway camp. It can make a real shift in their mind, a shift in their soul and their perspective. We started with 1 kid in 2009. This summer, we're fortunate enough to host over 430 campers from 20 states and 10 countries. We train with a focus and intensity on the court, which turns practice into a game and a game into a practice. We use basketball as a vehicle for growth and success. And the results, well, they speak for themselves. Over 60 college players, Division 1, 2, and 3, professional players, national team players, a EuroLeague Rookie of the Year, an NBA draft pick, and over 5,000 families, all of whom have stepped it up. We have a love for the game, timeless principles that guide us, a state-of-the-art campus, engaged coaches. We have the results. The choice is simple. It's time to step it up.
Welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center. This is the Camp Step It Up halftime show brought to you by Camp Step It Up. Just a 2.5-hour drive from New York City with busing provided to and from camp. Founded by former D1 player Yogev Verdugo, Step It Up is the most proven Shomer Shabbat sleepaway basketball camp in the world. Over the past 13 years, we are going to send it down now to Natan Rabizadeh standing by with head coach for DRS, Moshe Cohen.
Obviously, unbelievable run there in the second quarter. What ignited that team on this run, and how do you plan on continuing that for a win?
We try to play the same way always. Whatever, it's a game of runs. We had a feeling they might come out strong. We're prepared for this all year. It happens. We stay with it. We missed our shots early. We were a little sloppy. We got to stay with our game and wait for that next momentum shift. I love where we're at after that. They got as hot as they can, 1-point game. 16 minutes. Let's go for the win now.
Thank you. And then also, what did you say in the locker room to your seniors?
I said just have fun. Sarachek, championships, final game. Just enjoy it.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you, Natan. Going back on Camp Step It Up for just a second. Step It Up has produced over a dozen Yeshiva University and Stern College players, including all-conference stars and leading scorers, along with dozens of Yeshiva League MVPs. Hundreds of Sarachek players have come through the program, including current stars like Gaby Spodek, Alex August, Jojo Alfasi, Simon Alul, and Noah Hiltig. Step It Up has also developed over 100 college players across all divisions, plus professional and national team players, a EuroLeague Rookie of the Year, and even an NBA draft pick. The camp runs June 24th through August 5th in the United States, with an additional Israel session August 9th through 14th. Flexible 1 through 7 week options are available for boys and girls in grades 3 through 12, with 3 daily Minyanim learning groups at Camp Rabbi and a state-of-the-art campus in Pennsylvania. Over 5,000 families have already stepped it up. For more information, visit timetostepitup.com. Email office@campstepitup.com or call 888-600-0908. And Max, I know you were a camper at Camp Step It Up. I know you have some friends as well. Roy Itzkovich, Joe Shanzer, Erez Cohen, Adi Markovich, all friends of yours who attended Camp Step It Up. How do you feel that it really helped your basketball development?
Yeah, I mean, going to Camp Step It Up was amazing. I think it really showed me and showed my friends what it takes to work hard and what it takes to be a successful high school player, but even more so if you want to be a college player, what it takes to do that. It's sacrifice. It's being an everyday guy. It's just a lot of things that they've showed me that ultimately contributed to what I am today, or what I was as a player.
And now just getting back into this game, 1-point game, and what was kind of a back and forth first half. Frisch came out with a big punch. DRS punched right back, 26-25. Frisch lead at the break. Max, just what are your thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, exactly what you said. Legit a tale of two quarters. In the first quarter it was Frisch 18, DRS 8, and the second quarter was DRS 18, Frisch 7. So just really a tale of two quarters. And I think we talked about it a little bit in the pregame show, but it's not necessarily, it's been about the supporting cast a little bit, not necessarily the stars. Spodak and Saidi, been struggling a little bit on the offensive end, but it's been Michael Solomon, not only defensively, but on the offensive end, knocking down a three, getting to the rim, putting pressure on the defense that way. And obviously, for Frisch, it was Jesse Reinhardt. Didn't play that much in the second quarter with those 2 fouls. It's going to be great to see what he can do in the second half after having 14 points in about a quarter.
And now it's Spodek for DRS, looking to get off to a good start. Let's wait for the call from the officials. Looks like it's going to stay DRS way. I think they're just going to say out of bounds off Frisch. Jesse Reinhardt getting a piece. Defensive foul. I think that's going on Reinhardt. No, it's not. It's going on Grossman. That's Grossman's first. That would have been big because that would have been 3 for Jesse Reinhardt.
Yeah, watch the screener back, the play back to Saidi as the screener, and here it comes.
Saidi with the ball now. Nathan Neufeld on him, pulls, got it. Elisha Saidi, big 3 to start the half. And now DRS with a 2-point lead, pass is intercepted. That's taken by Saidi again, blocked, but gets his own rebound. Turn around, and Elisha Saidi, the junior, getting off to an electric start. 5 straight points, 30 seconds into the second half. Quick timeout from Coach Tuckman.
That's not what you want. You said it right, to start this half. You feel like the team that's down 1 has that little advantage even going into halftime because they feel like they're down. They feel like they got to overcome that mountain. And DRS comes out, guns blazing, runs that baseline out of bounds. They run all the time, gets Saidi a shot. And, now they're up 4. Frisch got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, obviously far from over, but definitely not the start you're looking for if you are Coach Tuckman and the Cougars. What are you telling the guys in the huddle?
Look, I mean, it's a game of runs, obviously. We saw that in the first half, and we're going to see that in the second half. So they're going to have to lean on their senior leadership. And I would love to see, Coach, do something for Isaac Stepner. Get him, a good look. Get him around the rim. DRS, I don't think they can handle Stepner around the rim. If Stepner on the perimeter, they could be in gaps. They can make it tough for him around there. But if they get him around the rim, it's going to be tough for them to handle him. So we'd love to see something like that out of Coach Tuckman.
Yeah, we saw Reinhardt earlier in the game doing a lot of damage inside and then pulling outside doing damage. Wonder if we see something similar with Isaac Stepner where he focuses in and then pulls out for some real damage. Looks like it's going to be Suss to inbound with Neufeld in the backcourt for the Cougars. Now down 4. I believe this has been their first deficit in the game. I think Frisch led the entire first half. Neufeld, defended by Spodek. Solomon meeting Stepner all the way out. And now Neufeld attacking the basket, going up. No good, but Isaac Stepner battling inside, turns around. Isaac Stepner with the putback. And Max, he must be up to, 12, 13 rebounds at this point.
Yeah, he's been a monster on the glass, and that's what he should be. DRS is making it tough for him in the half court, but get easy points by getting on the glass. That's a great way for him to get in the scoring column.
Saidi now for DRS, pulls through contact and gets it, and 1. Elisha Saidi, it's been the quarter for the junior. All of DRS's 7 points in this second half have come from number 1, Elisha Saidi, as he'll head to the line for the real and 1 play.
Yeah, not sure what number 12, Grossman is complaining about there. He was just too close to his body. You can't be draped all over him, having a hand on him while he's going up to shoot.
And Bennett fighting for the rebound, tipped it out of bounds off the miss. So still a 4-point game for the Wildcats. Grossman still complaining about that call as he heads to the sideline. As he heads to the corner, still in the game. Neufeld now. Up top to Sauce, point blank range. No good from Sauce. And now it's Spodek. Deep 3. Oh, sweet, Elisha Saidi with the 3. All 10 points from Elisha Saidi. We saw something similar a couple years ago for Alex Gabai for Eula in overtime. Just absolutely one player dominating a quarter. And now we're seeing the same thing from Elisha Saidi here. That's going to be a jump ball, staying with Frisch. Noam Grossman to the bench. Jacob Gervis headed into the game as Frisch definitely could use his energy.
Yeah, Frisch has got to do something, got to change something up now on Saidi. Just got to make him, play at the rim or something like that. You don't want him shooting catching threes, and you don't want him pulling up. He's a very tough cover, but I think make him play at the rim over the size of Reinhardt and Stepner. But got to change something up because he's been killing him this quarter.
Now it's Stepner moving in on Bennett, draws contact, he'll go to the line. Great job by Stepner attacking the basket, and kind of like you were saying, focusing more on the inside for Stepner, trying to get him attacking the basket, either making baskets, drawing fouls, or a little bit of both. That's now 2 on Bennett, 1 on DRS. But Isaac Stepner, a lights-out free throw shooter at the line.
Yeah, exactly what you said. Nothing, fancy on that baseline out of bounds. Just get Stepner the ball in the short corner. It's much easier for him to attack one-on-one there than if he was, spread out on the perimeter. So exactly what you said, Yosef.
Isaac Stepner on the second. 2 for 2 Now a 5-point lead for the Wildcats. 6 minutes remain here in this third quarter as it's Spodek now. Frisch looks to be in a zone. To the corner, it's Spodek. Now Solomon at the top. Coach Cohn calling out one from the sideline. Defeats Alicia Saidi's number, as now it's Solomon inside to Bennett. Rebound taken by Isaac. Stebner bringing it down to Gervis. Dangerous pass. Stebner gets it back. Suss. Neufeld gonna drive baseline. And great possession from Frisch in transition, as that's an easy 2 points.
Yeah, surprised that DRS didn't find Saidi on that last possession. They run their play number 1, which is basically just Saidi cutting through and kind of getting a stagger opposite. He was open, but they didn't find him.
Spodek dumps off Saidi. Connects again. Alicia Saidi single-handedly bringing DRS to the top in this third quarter. Stebner spins, draws contact, and that's 3 on Bennett. Excuse me, they're going to call that one on Saidi. That's Saidi's second. Now, Max, what adjustments are you making if you're Coach Tuckman to stop the insane run Alicia Saidi has gone on for DRS?
Yeah, we talked about it last break. You got to make him put it on the deck and score at the rim. You know, it's a lot easier said than done, but he wants to, A, get catch and shoot looks, which he's made 2 already, and B, take one dribble, and rise up above, his defender into his mid-range. He's lethal in both those areas. He can still, make plays at the rim, but I think that's, the part of the game that you'll live with, especially with size at the rim. Make him make plays in that area, and I think Frisch will be in a much better spot, but they can't keep on losing him. What does he have, 13 points this quarter? It's insane.
As we're getting a little bit of a break, Michael Solomon looked to have some blood on his arm. Decides to just cut his shirt short as he'll head to the bench. First one from Stebner is a rare miss. As we'd like to thank Golan Heights for being a proud MacsLive sponsor. Come to Golan Heights for the best authentic Israeli food and more. Located just steps away on campus, shawarma, schnitzel, poppers. To name a few of Golan Heights' delicious items. Second one was good from Stebner. Remains a 5-point game. 4:40 left to go as it's Spodek off the screen from Bennett. Pulls. It's Bennett skying for the offensive rebound. Saidi had some space. Now puts it up. And Alicia Saidi.
That's him in the mid-range.
What a run. Jesse Reinhardt now for Frisch. Reinhardt tries to attack the basket, but stopped by Spodek. Stebner wide open. No good from Isaac. Saidi thought about the NBA 3, didn't take it. Takes a screen, wide open down low. It's Bennett, but that's a great block by Judah Suss. Out of bounds, off of Bennett.
Yeah, that's that offseason work. That's got to be a right-hand finish there. He's obviously more comfortable with that inside hand, but that allows Suss to contest that shot because that inside hand is obviously closer to Suss. It would have been, that's where that offseason work comes in. That would have been 2 points, in a championship game.
And now it's Gervis going the other way. Reinhardt up top, almost intercepted by Solomon, but now Stebner has a lane. Stebner going inside. Lots of contact, no call either way, and that's going to be a foul on Mike Solomon, sending Stebner once again to the free throw line. And Max, we saw Stebner miss one before, but I don't think this is a sustainable strategy for DRS to keep putting Isaac to get some free shots.
Yeah, 100%. They got lucky on that one. Got to make, we talked about it with Saidi, got to make him play at the rim. You got to have Stebner see bodies. If he's out on the perimeter, got to be in your gaps, got to attack the ball. I thought, Shalhevet did an amazing job with that last game. Making him see bodies on drives, getting in those gaps, getting hands on it when he spins, when he tries to cross over, all those stuff. And then, when he gets it, down low, you just got to do your best, try to make him play over you. Again, he's going to make some of those shots. He's a great player, but you got to pick your poison a little bit.
Coach Moshe Cohen tried to get Zach Tuckman for the on-court technical. Ref having none of it. Stebner good on the first. Second shot for Isaac Stepner is true. Now 40-35. DRS lead, 3:35 left to go in this third quarter. Saidi with the ball, now hands it back to Spodek. Solomon, down low, Shoham Gabe. He's been quiet, but right on the board as finally someone else for DRS puts a ball in the basket.
But that's, that bucket's basically Saidi's. He runs off that double stagger, two go to him. They slip that second screener, and he's able to get an easy mid-range shot.
As now it's Suss down low, absolutely swarmed. Reinhardt thought about a triple. Gets it back at the wing, dribbling around, gets a double team. Throws it across to Neufeld, who couldn't connect. And that's going to be a foul on Shoham Gabe as he sent Stepner to the floor, and that's 5 for DRS, sending Stepner right back to the line. Excuse me, that's 4 for DRS. They'll have one more. .258 left. DRS 42, Frisch 35. As it's Jesse Reinhardt to inbound, gives it to Neufeld in the corner. Shoham Gabe on him. Stepner driving on Michael Solomon. Stepner puts it up, and Isaac Stepner will not be denied en route to the basket. Gaby Spodek directing traffic, calling out a play. Nathan Neufeld sitting back. Saidi with it now. Spodek at the top, now Shoham Gabe gonna move inside on Stepner. Beautiful down under the basket from Gabe, but couldn't finish as the rebound is taken by Jesse Reinhardt. Suss, Stepner, wide open, short, bounces around, who's got it? As that was Jesse Reinhardt on the floor, jump ball, DRS possession.
DRS gets lucky again there. They got to do a better job of matching in transition. That's the second time, Stepner's gotten a clean look in transition with nobody, guarding him. Honestly, I think DRS, they're lucky to be playing at Yeshiva University's court here because if not, that would have been, he would have been by the high school line, not behind the college line. I think that's the only reason why he's missed.
As we've seen that line trip up some of these teams before. I was talking to one coach before the tournament who mentioned that he specifically had some practices on a court, as that's a nice play from Spodek. They specifically had practices on a court with all three three-point lines to kind of get his team acclimated to the Max Stern Athletic Center. Gervis with a nice spin. Hands off to Suss. Suss, who's been quiet here, misses again. And now it's Spodek. DRS up 7. Shoham Gabe, big three here. Couldn't get it. And now Isaac Stepner looking for the response for Frisch. Reinhardt working on Bennett. He's got Stepner in the high post. Saidi fronting him. That's a three in the corner, but no good from Neufeld. Rebound almost had by Isaac Stepner. And then it's taken by Spodek. Spodek with leading DRS on the break. Forward to Bennett. And once again, it's Bennett trying to finish with two hands. And couldn't get the layup, ended up being blocked. As the ball goes out of bounds off of DRS, and Frisch will get the ball.
Frisch has got to get into Stepner there. He has that matchup with Saidi, at the high post. I just don't like the shot, they've been taking the past couple possessions. Got to get to Stepner, he's hot. And he's
Speaking of Stepner, right attacking the basket. Kisses it off the glass and in. Now a 4-point game with 44 seconds remaining. About 10 seconds separate shot and game clock. But it looks like Spodek just going to hold. Now it's Saidi. Pump fake to three. I don't think anyone was thinking he was going to pull from there. And now it's Shoham Gabe, open at the wing. Just short, but rebound taken by Bennett. I'm sure Shoham will tell you that was a pass as Yitz Bennett puts it in. Now 7-point lead for DRS. Frisch has 7 seconds. Down low, it goes to Reinhardt. Reinhardt steps behind the line, now pulls. A little bit short. Michael Solomon, full court heave, nowhere close. As we end this third quarter, number 1, DRS Wildcats have 46. The number 3, Frisch Cougars have 39. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter of this Tier 1 championship game.
The first thing that struck me when I came here was the beauty of this place.
When I first got here, it was so welcoming, and I felt like I fit in right away.
I'm always excited to be here. The atmosphere here is great. The people here are great. The staff is great.
Every summer is so unforgettable.
And each year it gets even better and better.
Are you ready for the best summer ever?
Welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center. Level up your Pesach plans. This Holomoy Pesach. Join NCSY at Six Flags on April 5th and 6th for an epic day you won't want to miss. Busing is provided for teens, and there will be kosher for Pesach food available. Visit sixflags.ncsy.org. That's sixflags.ncsy.org for more info. Now, Max, DRS 46, Frisch 39. Talk to me about that third quarter.
Yeah, that third quarter, obviously, it was the Saidi show, coming out, just dominating on both ends of the floor, making shots, but also rebounding and kind of, getting his team, involved. But if Frisch wants to come back in this game, they're going to have to get to their star. Isaac Stepner came alive also, and a little more quietly, because did it at the line, did it in different spots. But, he has 20 points and 12 rebounds right now. If Frisch wants to, erase this 7-point deficit, it's got to be through Isaac Stepner.
Stebner been electric in that quarter. I think he got to the line 3 or 4 separate times. As now it's Stebner pulling from the elbow. Couldn't connect, but the rebound is taken by Neufeld for Frisch. Reinhardt moving in on Spodek. That's a 3 from Suss. Rattles around and out. Battle for the rebound. And it goes to Reinhardt again. Now Frisch will have a third opportunity at a basket. Jacob Gervis moving in on Bennett. Tried to hit Neufeld down low, tipped out of bounds by DRS. So we got to reset 30 seconds into this one, 46-39. Wildcats lead. Reinhardt's got to hurry, finally does. Dumps it off to Stepner. As DRS came in with a quick double. Once Isaac had the ball, has it back. And it's Stepner trying to drive baseline on Solomon. Bennett came in for a double. And now it's Reinhardt poked away, but straight to Nathan Neufeld, who attacks the lane. And lots of contact, but just a miss and a rebound for DRS.
That's a great defensive possession there by DRS. Stepner drives, they bring that double on that spin, has to kick it out. Get to the rotation on the second drive. Just a great defensive possession for DRS there.
Elisha Saidi. He's been carrying the DRS offense in this one. Takes a screen from Michael Solomon, pulls up, and maybe a heat check for Saidi as that one went back iron and out. Saidi fell over, went hard into the scorer's table, looks to be okay. As we'll see on the replay, they're going to call that off of Elisha Saidi, who will head to the bench, headed into the game for DRS, is number 21, Noah Bornstein.
Listen, I actually think they called that a foul, and that's his 4th foul. So, something to note. He's going to have to sit for the next couple minutes.
And that's a huge development, obviously. Saidi, with a large majority of DRS's points here in this second half, still have a 7-point cushion. But with one of your best scorers off the floor, it's definitely going to be tough for the Wildcats. Neufeld with it now for DRS, for Frisch. Inside to Stepner. Once again, no good from Isaac Stepner as he struggled to connect. And now it's Spodek patiently moving down for DRS. Coach Moshe Cohen calling the play from the sideline. Spodek going to attack the basket. No good from Spodek. Now Frisch on the break forward to Gervis, who couldn't handle the pass. And the Cougars give it right back.
Crucial possessions, can't waste them, Frisch. Do a good job forcing, I think they're doing a great job all night, putting Spodek in his left hand, making him finish there. He struggled to do so. Again, make him reverse, finish his left, can't do it. But you can't just turn the ball over there. Possessions are too valuable at this point in the game.
5:37 remain as DRS still leads by 7. Spodek working on Neufeld, blows past him. Layup bounced on both sides, but no good. And now it's Nathan Neufeld slowing things down for Frisch. Stepner, head of steam, gets stopped by Gabe. Beautiful move by Stepner, but couldn't finish on the layup. DRS has numbers if they want him. Spodek to Solomon, into the corner, that's Bornstein. Didn't take the three, now kicks to Bennett outside. Bennett to Solomon. Spodek. Now Spodek driving the lane, turns around. Once again, another miss by Gabe Spodek, as some of the stars for each of these teams going cold. Neufeld in the corner. Once again, another missed basket from these teams. 4:45 to go as that Suss tried to attack Bornstein, and Bornstein will get called for his first. DRS third.
It'll be interesting to see when Coach Cohen goes back to Saidi. DRS's offense has been bogged down, ever since he left. You can really feel him, not being there. There's just been not easy shots, and you had guys that you don't necessarily want taking the shots, shooting.
Yeah, that's a quick timeout from Coach Moshe Cohen. Both teams a little bit out of sorts over the past couple possessions. They'll talk it over. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center. 4:41 left to go, 46-39. The number 1 seeded DRS Wildcats against the number 3 Frisch Cougars. DRS trying to become the first team since the 2017 Frisch Cougars to win both Sarachek and the Yeshiva League. They were led, of course, by Jack Stepner, Isaac Stepner's older brother, and now Isaac on the other side trying to keep his brother's record intact.
Can't forget, my older brother, J.D. Zakheim, was a member of that team. They won 3 championships that year, also winning Globerman. I don't know if that's ever been done.
As it's going to be Reinhardt to inbound. Reinhardt gets it back. Now Stepner in the post. Working on Bennett. Solomon comes up with a quick help. And they're going to call a foul on Mike Solomon. So see on the replay.
Yeah, I think Stepner maybe gets away with that one there. He's got to know that on the spin, they're coming for the ball every single time. He's got to know that by now.
That's 3 fouls on DRS, 3 fouls on Solomon. As Neufeld moving inside to Gervis. Gervis couldn't connect. And now it's Saidi on Neufeld going up. Oh, offensive foul drawn by Nathan Neufeld. We saw DRS with a handful on that side of the floor in the second quarter. Now in this fourth quarter, Frisch gets one of their own.
Yeah, I know we talked about how we don't love those calls, but you got to call it both ways. They called that in the first half on Reinhardt, which, we haven't called Reinhardt's name since then because he was practically took out of the game because of those fouls. You got to call it the same, on the opposite end with Saidi. Unfortunate, but, DRS going to have to play the rest of the away without him.
As it looks like Coach Tuckman is going to take a timeout for Frisch. Follow MacsLive on Instagram and Twitter to keep up with all of our latest updates, news, behind-the-scenes content. I'm sure we have plenty that still will be released even after the tournament. Check out our website, MacsLive.com. We're still uploading the stats and finalizing things over there. So stay tuned over the next couple days as we finalize this Sarachek tournament. Jacob Gervis taking it down. Gives the cross court to Reinhardt. He had an opportunity for a shot. Instead, he's going to move in on Bornstein, who's smaller. Tipped around off DRS. Ball stays with Frisch. 4:01 left in this one. And Max, the score's been knotted at 46-39 for a couple minutes already.
I was about to ask, our stat keeper if there's been a bucket this quarter. For Frisch, I thought they've been defending really well. As Stepner scores, but for DRS, I think it's been tough, without Saidi.
Saidi on the bench with those 4 fouls. We'll see when he comes back in. And now it's Solomon. That's a 3, no good. And now Stepner the other way. Stepner. Suss. Reinhardt. He was on fire from 3 in the beginning, but now he goes inside, gets sworn by DRS, and that's a block. Now Spodek slowing things down for the Wildcats. 5-point lead, just over 3 minutes remaining. Spodek with a quick basket. Great job from Gaby Spodek. He'd gone cold, but good for the senior to connect on that one. As that pass is tipped by Shoham Gabe. Shoham Gabe taking it the other way in transition. Stepner back, blocked by Stepner. What a block by Isaac Stepner, as DRS is another victim of a huge block in a championship game. 3 from Stepner on the other end. What a momentum shifter. Isaac Stepner waking up when it matters. Unbelievable. That may have been the LeBlanc 2.0, and DRS another victim.
What a play there by Isaac Stepner. I think a smart timeout now, but yeah, look, I'm honestly more impressed by the block. You don't see him do that very often. Just an awesome play, and that, you thought after that bucket by Spodek, you thought, maybe Frisch isn't going to be able to do it, but after that play, that's just an insane play and a winning play.
Yeah, 2:28 to go. Looking across the gym at nobody other than Johnny Dan, as I'm sure he's drawn a lot of stares after that play. 48-44. Huge momentum shifter, 5-point swing. Would have been a layup for Gabe. Instead, it's a 3 for Stepner. And now with it being a 4-point game, you're Zach Tuckman off the timeout. What are you telling your guys?
Look, if I'm Zach Tuckman, I'm saying we're right in this game. Obviously, we're down 4. We got to get it to Stepner, obviously, but I think it's got to be in the ways that have been working, right? Getting it to him in the high post, getting it to him on the block, getting him in spots where he can drive and attack those mismatches. But, obviously they got to get a stop here, so that's first and foremost.
And I just want to make an edit to what we said earlier. Alicia Saidi had picked up his 5th, as that's pull-up from Spodek, and Gaby Spodek in the same spot as before. Puts the DRS back on the board. But Alicia Saidi has fouled out of the game. He was not sitting on 4. He had picked up his 5th. So no more Alicia Saidi for DRS down the stretch. Stepner drawing a foul. He'll go to the line yet again. As with 2:11 to go, Stepner with the opportunity to make it a 4-point game. Isaac Stepner at the line. He's been the man for Frisch. Last year as a sophomore, he was the all-star of the YLP. He was the MVP of the YLP all-star game, of the varsity all-star game as a sophomore. Now starring as a junior. Got to think he has a bright future ahead of him even next year, regardless of the outcome of this game. But 50-46 is the score. Gaby Spodek bringing it over the timeline. As now Neufeld applying some pressure. Bennett at the top, gives to Solomon. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of this championship game. Spodek kicks to the corner. Bornstein couldn't connect. Rebound corralled by Jesse Reinhardt. Stepner in transition, stops, pulls, no good. Rebound Shoham Gabe. Now it's Spodek, throws it forward to Bennett. Bit of a dangerous pass, but Bennett comes up with it. That's a quick 3 from Gabe. Graces the front rim, and that's a foul, and it's Bennett. And not really a smart possession for DRS.
Yeah, DRS, again, we've talked about it, have been all out of sorts a little bit since Saidi has, fouled out. They're going to have to lean on Spodek, and honestly, I would love to see, Solomon get back on the offensive. We haven't seen that really since the first half, but they're going to need to manufacture offense here without Saidi, and I think Solomon's able to do so, driving from the wing and making plays that way.
And now with that foul, Bennett's 3rd, but team 5th, which means that Isaac Stepner will be sent straight to the line. Rare miss from Stepner, but still has the opportunity to make it a 1-possession game. Timeout, Coach Cohen from DRS. as he wants to talk things over with his guys. Did not like that last possession. And Max, what's the message from Coach Cohn?
It's, look, first off, you got to rebound this ball if it comes off. We saw it in the last Tier 2 championship game, how many offensive rebounds TABC got off of free throw blockouts, and that ultimately led them to that win. So first of all, you got to block out if this one's going to come off, got to rebound. And then you got to just get a good possession. I think DRS has been rushed a lot of the time. We talked about it, no Saidi, of course, but they got to get a good possession. Maybe look to kind of get Spodek attacking, getting to his pull-up game. He's been effective in that the last couple possessions. Or as we talked about, maybe get Solomon going downhill and can make a play either to Gabai for a 3 in the corner or something like that. But again, I would love to see DRS have a long, calm possession here, because assuming Stepner makes this one, it's a one-possession game. And if, Frisch will be coming right back at him.
Yeah, 1:31 to go. And it's interesting, this DRS Wildcats team was featured on the YLP podcast. And they were asked by Oren Glickman, what's the one team you're looking for in Sarachek? And they said, we haven't played Frisch all year. Interesting enough, they haven't matched up in any tournaments in Yeshiva League in the playoffs. We want to see Frisch at some point this tournament and right here. And it's been an absolute barn burner thus far. Can't wait to see how it finishes. 1:31 to go. DRS 50, Frisch 46. Isaac Stepner at the line for one, with the opportunity to cut it to a one-possession game. Officials talking it over. Head referee Mel Chedham confirming something with the officials. One shot for Isaac Stepner. Takes a dribble. Throws it up and good. Now a one-possession game. Nathan Neufeld pressures Gaby Spodek in the full court. Spodek easily blows by him. And at DRS up 3. They'll try to milk the clock and put some points on the board. Michael Solomon, head of steam. Puts DRS up 5. That's a huge bucket from Michael Solomon. Jacob Gervis now. Stepner. Size advantage on Bornstein. Takes him in. Now pulls from an awkward angle. No good from Stepner. And now some pressure from Frisch as Bornstein picked up the dribble. And I know DRS tried to call a timeout, but it looks like they're going to get Gervis for a foul. That's kind of catching a lucky break is DRS. 54.5 remaining. DRS up 5. Shoham Gabe to inbound at the baseline. Greenhouse coming alive. DRS chance from that side of the court. Solomon full court to Bennett. Now to Bornstein. Bornstein, nobody on him. And Bornstein at the transition layup puts DRS up 7. 44 seconds to go. Frisch has to hurry. Neufeld moving inside. And that's going to be a block, sending Neufeld to the line. Yeah. 37.9 to go.
Good call there by the referee, obviously. Solomon stepping in there a little bit late. But what about, the senior guard, Noah Bornstein? I've watched DRS a good amount this year. Haven't seen him, getting much minutes. And his name's called, in the championship game. And, just makes a big layup, gets a stop, down possession prior on Stepner. And draws a foul, then goes scores, with his left hand. Just, big stuff. And that's, a credit to, the program that DRS has, has built. Saidi's out of the game and next man up mentality.
Yeah, you love to see that from some of these powerhouse programs, that they're really able to kind of get their mentality, not just to the stars, but even down the bench as well. We've seen that so many times, not just in this tournament, but in previous tournaments as well. Now it's Spodek into the corner. Shoham Gabe, the pass is tipped. Who's got it? Mike Solomon tips it forward to Bennett. Can he get there? No, he can't. Out of bounds, Frisch basketball. That's a huge break for the Cougars. Great defense. Locking up Shoham Gabe in the corner. And Coach Cohn going to talk it over with his guys. And, Gaby Spodek, such a heady player. But I think in that moment, obviously, he's open and you have to give it to him. But with his back to the court in the corner, that's not really the place you want to catch the ball if you're Shoham Gabe.
100%. But I also think, he's probably not usually in those situations. We talked about Saidi not being on the court on the offensive end, the impact that makes. But the impact now that Frisch is obviously going to press, going to get after DRS. not having Saidi, probably, you know, him and Spodek, they're 2 ball handlers. And now, you know, it's a trickle-down effect. Forces Goodbye now to have to, you know, be in situations that he's not necessarily comfortable in. And, you know, that forces, and Frisch is able to force a turnover on that. So Frisch now gets an offensive possession, and if they score, I fully expect them to, you know, kind of trap. Don't foul right away. Continue to trap DRS, because, again, they don't have their, you know, primary ball handler in there. And you know, it's going to be tough for them to break that pressure.
Yeah, that Frisch pressure has really worked so far. The Cougars down 2 possessions, 32 seconds flat on the clock. 54-49 is the Wildcats' lead. Stay tuned for the NCSY postgame show, as we'll have the trophy presentation and more once this ends. Jacob Gervis, Stepner, turnaround 3, no good. Rebound, though, taken by Frisch. That was Sauce. Stepner attacking the basket. And Sean Gabe tried for the charge, but unless it's perfect, I don't think you're getting that call at this point in the game.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer there for the referee. Just Stepner slid around him. No.
So Isaac Stepner to the line with a chance to make this a 1-possession game with 18 seconds to go. That's 3 fouls for Shoham Gabe. Stepner once again no good on the first. He's really struggled from the line down the stretch. As it's going to be Noam Grossman into the game, as well as Nathaniel Bromberg for Frisch. First time we're seeing Bromberg today. A little bit of defense for offense from Coach Tuchman. Second one from Stepner's good. As Neufeld going to head out as well. So Frisch trying to match up with DRS. Gaspodik gets it in the corner. He's trapped. Timeout, Coach Cohen. Smart timeout as Gaby Spodek had nowhere to go. 14.5 seconds to go.
Yeah, I'd love to see Coach, you know, draw up some sort of press break here. He keeps on, you know, leading his guys into that deep corner. You know, Spodek's not the tallest player. So with, you know, Frisch putting in their defensive lineup, some bigger guys, you know, trapping him right away, that makes that pass extremely difficult. Would love to see him, you know, draw something up for either A, his guy to, you know, kind of get a full head of steam on a banana cut, kind of coming across, or just not catching in the short corner, catching higher up, which makes all the difference.
14.5 to go. Should be a good ending. I was talking to Coach Moshe Cohen before the tournament. He said he's won the Yeshiva League as a player. He's won the Yeshiva League as a coach, but never won a Sarachek. Would mean so much to him, and I'm sure to his guys, to come out with this one on top. Meanwhile, the Frisch Cougars not going down easy. 14.5 to go. Coach Cohen getting an extra word as the buzzer sounds, ending the timeout. Let's see who it is to inbound for DRS. Nobody really moving towards the ball. I think it's going to be Mike Solomon. Solomon's going to inbound Stebner with his length. Trying to cover Solomon, not giving him any lanes. 14.5 to go. DRS up 4. Solomon gets the ball. Blocked out of bounds by Stepner. And they're going to say, we're waiting for a call from the official. And he'll bring his friends over to talk about it. Solomon threw the pass. It hit off of Stepner's hand and then into Michael Solomon. They're going to argue that it should be Frisch ball. So we'll see on the replay. And they do. Frisch basketball. Huge defensive play from Isaac Stepner on the inbound. 14.5 to go. Now Frisch down 4. And we'll get offense for defense as Judah Suss and Nathan Neufeld checking into the game. Nathaniel Bromberg, Noah Grossman taking a seat. You got to think the ball's going into Stepner's hands here. As now it's Reinhardt, Michael Solomon, can't believe it. Under the hoop. Always eccentric Michael Solomon. That's going to be Reinhardt to inbound. Gives to Stepner in the post. He'll go to work on Bennett. Pulls up. No good. Rebound taken by Yitz Bennett. And that's a foul from Reinhardt. 7.2 to go. Huge rebound from Yates Bennett as DRS will head to the line. And now up 2 possessions. Excuse me, they won't head to the line. Frisch still has a bunch of fouls to give, so 7.2 to go. DRS will need to force a turnover. Frisch will need to force a turnover from DRS, as the Wildcats will look to close out this one. Solomon, full court pass to Bornstein. Lots of contact. Bornstein gets it. Bennett will dribble it out. And just like that, no, it's a quick foul with 4/10 of a second on the clock. A bit anticlimactic from Frisch, as they'll send no Bornstein to the line. As this one all but over. 54-50, 4/10 of a second left. And I'm not exactly sure what's going on or what the delay is. As Coach Tuchman going to take a full timeout. I don't mean to be mean, but I don't know what there is to talk over. You're down 4 with 4/10 of a second.
Yeah, not much to do. I mean, what a catch there, but by the senior Borenstein. When that pass was thrown, I was like, really, you're going to throw up a 50-50 up for grabs jump ball right now in this situation? I guess, of course, he threw it all the way down to the other end, so even if Frisch were to have come up with it, it would have been tough for them to get 2 possessions with probably 5 or 6 seconds left. But still, what a catch and, big-time play.
Coach Zach Tuchman putting in some other guys for Frisch. Senior Jake Uffberg into the game. Tano Bromberg back out there. Senior guard Jack Spira in the game as well, giving these guys one last time on the court. Solomon's going to inbound at the sideline. And Bornstein takes it, and that'll do it as the buzzer sounds. DRS 54, Frisch 50, as the Sarachek Championship goes back to Woodmere, New York. Unbelievable run this season from DRS. We weren't sure how their team was going to look, losing guys like Joe Aaron and Sweet Saidi, and they come out, respond, back-to-back Yeshiva League champions, and now packaging the Yeshiva League with a Sarachek trophy.
Yeah, I think it's just a credit to the program they have. It's the next guys up. They continue to develop different guys, and just their style of play. Weird defense, make teams think, get out in transition, shoot the ball. Their style of play, clearly works for their personnel. And I think a guy like Michael Solomon so crucial to what they do. If you watch him defensively, he's the anchor for them. Telling guys where to go, because when they're matchup zone, they're constantly switching and talking and doing all those things. So I think he's a crucial piece to them.
As Michael Solomon getting ready to add DRS's name to the championship bracket in the corner of the gym. Solomon getting on the ladder as he gets the pen, the heart and soul leader of these DRS Wildcats. As he hypes up the fans. Well earned from Michael Solomon, as now some of the other guys are going to join him. And I just want to say it's going to get lost in this, but what an excellent game it was, and really just a great game, great tournament from Frisch. They had such a tough path getting here between the Fuchs and Zrachi Mayhem, who once again outperformed their seed, the SAR Sting, who Frisch had lost to in the Yeshiva League semifinals, the Shalhevet Firehawks, who many had picked as the potential champions and had been unstoppable to that point. And now, falling to the DRS Wildcats, been a really close back and forth game. Shout out to Frisch, shout out to Coach Tuchman, and a lot of juniors on that team, so we'll see how they look next year. But today's all about DRS. And we talk about for the Wildcats, we talked about Michael Solomon at the top of the ladder. He's maybe their leader, especially on the defensive end, but offensively, Gaby Spodek, what he means to this team, just unbelievable what he's done over the past 2 years. Maybe not the biggest guy, the fastest guy, maybe not the best shooter, but just such a smart player, a real coach on the court. And I'm sure between Solomon and Spodek, you know, Coach Moshe Cohen obviously deserves his flowers, but his job was made a lot easier by having those guys.
Yeah, I think you saw, you know, the prowess of him, you know, late in that game. You know, you talked about it throughout the broadcast. He was cold early on, missed some stuff at the rim, you know, did some things. But down the stretch when they needed, you know, big buckets the most, and they really needed buckets, they were struggling every possession to get a good look with Saidi, you know, fouled out. And he made 2 big-time buckets, 2 pull-ups that really, you know, kept DRS in the lead. If it wasn't for those 2 shots, Frisch probably would have taken the lead and the game would have been totally different.
Yeah, as this is the NCSY postgame show. NCSY inspiring the Jewish future for more than 70 years. We're going to send it down at some point to John Bandler for the trophy presentation and the announcements of the Sarachek All-Stars and all Sarachek players. At some point, we're also going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Natan Rabizada. But once again, just an incredible conclusion to really just a 2-year run from these DRS Wildcats. We could talk about kind of the failures of their Sarachek run last year. But outside of that, I mean, Yeshiva League champions last year, Yeshiva League champions this year. Even when they lost, they still barely lost Tier 2 last year, and now capping it off with the Sarachek championship.
Yeah, I think that's how it goes sometimes. You know, you gotta have that failure. You know, trust me, it hasn't been a lot for them after winning back-to-back Yeshiva League championships. But you know, last year obviously Sarachek didn't go how they wanted. But it's kind of like, you know, the Virginia Cavaliers. You know, they get upset in that 16-1 seed versus UMBC, then come back right the next year and win the whole thing. You know, feeling that failures, it kind of fuels your off season, fuels, you know, your workouts. It's not easy to, you know, get up every day and get in that gym, but, you know, things like that sometimes are able to fuel guys, and ultimately you see a lot of times, you see the bad boy Pistons had to, you know, get up over a hump, lost a couple heartbreakers, and then finally got over the hump, and, you know, DRS is able to do so over the past 2 years.
Yeah, and for Coach Moshe Cohen, the program he's built, we talked about, you know, how the players really love him and really respect him, and just overall, an excellent job that he's done. 2 Yeshiva Leagues, 1 Sarachek Tier 2. He won the first ever playing game, then lost the Thursday game, but went on a crazy run to win Tier 2. Holds the record for the most ever wins in a Sarachek tournament. Won the Yeshiva League last year, Yeshiva League this year. Lost in the Sarachek Tier 2 championship. And now the Sarachek trophy. A lot of hardware in Coach Cohen's closet. We're going to send it down to John Bandler for the trophy presentation and All-Star and All Sarachek team announcements.
From DRS, I'm going to get out of here. All-star, Yitz, Bennett, and Michael Solomon. Yitz, Michael. Second team all tournament from pregame Montreal, Simon Lowell. From Berlin, Alex August. From Houston's Rock, Wilson Jacobs. From Aircraft, Jewel. From TABC, Natalia Hofstein. Our Tier 3 MVP was Joseph Dominguez of Hank. Tier 2 MVP was Akita Gordon of TNBC. First team all tournament, Sam Jacobson from Sarachek. Shalom Yahan of Jewish Culture. There is a ring and a pair of glasses if anybody lost. Just come see me over here. A ring and a pair of glasses if anybody lost them. For robotics, Michael Frisch, first team all tournament. For the group, from Frisch, this was about as close as we've come for the second time to have a never losing team in MVP. Isaac Stepner. And the Tier 1 MVP, when he did his third quarter tonight, I've never seen that in this tournament. Alicia Sidney.
Welcome back into the booth here in the Max Stern Athletic Center as we're waiting to send it to our sideline reporter, Natan Orbizada, who will be standing by with the Sarachek champion, #1 seed DRS Wildcats. In the meantime, they just announced the Sarachek All-First Team, All-Second Team, Sarachek All-Stars. A list of those will be online on our website pretty shortly. But overall, a great tournament for a lot of guys. Isaac Stepner, first team all-tournament. Gaby Spodek, first team all-tournament. And the MVP of the game, Alicia Tsaidi. And, you know, one thing I just want to say while Natan tries to track down some of the guys from DRS is that it's been a really great run here at MacsLive. You know, we spoke about it a little bit when I called my last game with Avery, which was the Tier 1 semifinal between DRS and Jewish Culture. But once again, just want to thank for this game everyone who made this broadcast possible. Our executive director, Eitan Traurig, executive producer, David Sampson, associate producer, Jarrett Lazarus, associate producer, Zachary Siklik, our directors, Moshe Laub and Arya Bluth, our camera operators, Moshe Laub, Marco Fununu, Arya Bluth, Matthew Lauren, Tech Ops, Jonah Kislasi, and Stats, Peter Osen, as Coach Moko getting the I don't know about a Gatorade bath, but a water bath from some of his guys. As Natan Orbizada is trying to track down someone from DRS. But, you know, it's really just been a great tournament throughout. Been really exciting play. And I think we're tracking down Coach Cohen. We're going to get to him in just a second. And it looks like Gaby Spodek out to meet him also. Shoham Gabe gets Bennett. And with that, we are going to send it down. I apologize for the delay. I think we're trying to get more of the Wildcats out of the locker room, as out of the locker room is Isaac Stepner and a bunch of the guys for Frisch. Once again, just an unbelievable effort from Stepner. Double-double, pretty much in the first half even. You know, couldn't connect on some late buckets down the stretch, but really a great season for the Wildcats as well. And a lot of juniors on that team between Isaac Stepner, obviously, Judah Suss, Noam Grossman, Nathaniel Bromberg, Jacob Gervis. Grossman a senior, I apologize. Joey Ginsberg, another guy. So really a bright future in Paramus, New Jersey for the Frisch Cougars. And we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Natan Orbizada, standing by with DRS Wildcats. Natan, take it away.
Here with Gaby, senior, two-time Yeshiva League champion, and now Sarachek champion. How does that feel? How does that feel to be on your resume?
Feels great.
Mr. Boyce, you got there in the fourth quarter, made some huge plays. How does this feel for you?
It feels great. I love my brothers. Couldn't do it without them. We won twice. They can't stop us. That's all I'm going to say.
Bennett. Underrated stat, 7 assists for Yitz Bennett over here. Heart and soul of this team. What makes you so valuable for this team and find those open guys all the time?
It's not really much. Like, I just pass them the ball. They get open and they score. I don't really need to do much. All I do is just get them the ball.
We got Mr. Gabai, the defensive beast over here. Say something to the people watching right now.
You got to ask me a question, then I can answer.
How are you so good at defense? Get those steals before, catch them in the air.
These guys in practice, so obviously you get good at
Yeah!
How are you?
Mr. Crowd Hype Beast.
Robbie Avila.
What do you got to say to DRS, all your fans that you love so much, hyping you up, and how does that push you and motivate you throughout this game and throughout this season?
Well, I got to start all thanks to Hashem, to God, for putting me and my team in this position to succeed. I couldn't have done it without my parents, my rebbeim, my team, my coaches. This was the most team-oriented championship season, whatever I've ever seen. Everybody was just willing to just do what they had to do to win, no matter what it was.
Thank you.
It was a really beautiful. You're welcome.
Mazel tov.
And it was a really, really beautiful thing. And I got to give a quick shout out to my pops and my mom, but my pops especially, and my brother Brian and Isaac. But my pops for just keep encouraging me and keep pushing me and believing in me to be the best that I could be. And these are for him. This is pretty incredible.
Much hatzlacha. Where did Bornstein go? I had a question for him. One more question for Mr. Bornstein over here. The world wants to know after yesterday, how did Coach Abi Rostow influence this performance today?
That new video where he pushes his kids, his players, where he pushes them, pushes me. Inspiration. Yeah.
I love that.
I love Abi Rostow. And I love Rob Dillingham. That's the shiftiest man alive.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Perez, what do you got to say to the world watching you right now? DRS.
Best team in Yeshiva League history. Right here.
Mazel tov. As part of MacsLive, it's been a pleasure working with you guys. I want to give shout out to Avram Goldberg, Eitan Zargari, Refuah Shlema for Yosef Ben Esther, and shout out my younger sister Talia.
Thank you, Natan. And as we close the Sarachek tournament, it's been a pleasure to be part of MacsLive. This is now my 5th Sarachek as a member of MacsLive. I remember, Max, watching your brother Alex for those Frisch teams back in the day, battling against Ramaz. But it's really just been a great time for me to kind of reflect on my career at MacsLive and kind of how everything comes to an end. I want to give a huge shout out to Kiva Poppers and Ari Schaff for giving me a chance and believing in me. It's my first semester. I called a Montreal MTA Tier 3 a quarterfinal game back when it was 24 teams. Called another Sky High Montreal game as well. And it's really just been a great experience. I've gone from, calling games, doing stats for Sarachek, lots of research behind the scenes, talking to a lot of coaches before each game, making our prep docs, till last year, 2 years ago, kind of became the full-time voice of the Macs. It's been just an unbelievable opportunity for me. I've literally enjoyed every second. I want to thank you guys, the fans, for tuning in. None of this could happen without you. I want to thank my partner in crime for the past couple of years, Zevi Panzer, as well as my current partner in crime, David Sampson, for everything that they've done, whether it be with socials or just organizing things or articles or whatever. I want to give a huge shout out to Marvin Azrak for running our website, and David Sampson for running the website, and Marvin for the way he has such an ability to write and just really tell a story on paper. And he's written most of our articles over the past 3-4 years. And I want to give Marvin a huge shout out. Huge shout out to Eitan Traurig and everything that he does in the booth. It's not just me, it's my last run, but Eitan's a senior, and the amount of sleepless nights that Eitan's had, whether it be over Sarachek or during the basketball season, making sure that things are really all set for the games, the graphics are in place. Anytime something breaks or something happens during a game, Eitan's always sprinting out of the control room, making sure things are fixed. This year with replay, Eitan was on top of that. And it can't be said enough, the amount that Eitan's done for MacsLive over the past couple years. I want to give a huge shout out as well to another senior on our staff, Jarrett Lazarus. Started out as a cameraman and has become our full-time director over the past 2 years, organizing the cameramen, getting the right angles, everything like that. Really just managing the operation in such an unbelievable way, and really just being a friend. It's been just a great run overall. I've had a great time calling these games. We'll see what the future holds, if there's maybe anything on the pipeline. But I just wanted to thank you, thank the fans, thank my staff, thank my parents, thank Hashem, and really just, really appreciative for the time that I've been able to put in. So I just wanted to get that on air. But with that, that'll do it for us. Final score, DRS 54, Frisch 50, in what was an unbelievable championship game, capping off the 2026 Sarachek tournament. For Max Zackheim, I'm Yosef Silver. Have a great day, everybody.